What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video, and today I'm taking you guys on a trip to the thrift. So if you guys are interested in these type of trips to the thrifts, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, shout out to everybody that's been copping the consistency tees. I definitely appreciate the support. And if you guys are interested in copping one of your own, make sure you guys use code consistency10 for 10% off your order. It's the first link in the description. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright y'all, so first thing I came across was this pair of Air Force Ones in this black and action red colorway. These were pretty dope back in the day, but these were just a little too beat up, especially for the price point they were asking for, and the comps on these were pretty low, so for that reason I ended up passing on those, but still a pretty dope find. And next I came across this set of Bose computer speakers, and if you guys follow the channel, you guys know I sold one of these a couple weeks ago. They were in a little better shape than this one, so I might actually hold on to this one for the personal, especially since Bose is such high quality. But the really good thing about this set in particular is the fact that it had that little adapter at the end so that I could still test it out with my phone now. And after testing these out, the sound quality on these were really good. So that's probably the main reason why I decided to hold on to these, because if I wanted to sell them, I can probably still sell them for around 40 to 50 bucks after cleaning them up a little bit. But I think it'll probably just be best to hold on to those. So went to the front of the store where they usually put some of the high quality things in the case, and this was just some of those aftermarket Nintendos. They were asking 25 bucks for these, and they actually had two of these in the case, but like I said, they weren't the original Nintendo, so for that reason I ended up passing on them. But then I saw this Canon lens that was in a Sigma box for $210, and that's been sitting there for a long time, so I don't know if that'll actually ever sell. Now drop a comment if you guys would have picked this one up for 50 bucks. I was definitely excited when I saw this, because I know these retro games sell for a ton of profit, and the good thing is this one actually came with the Switch box, even had some manuals in here and the original box. And after checking the comps, I seen that they were selling for right around like 160 plus 20 bucks shipping. A lot of people were charging a lot of money for shipping for these, so I'm definitely going to be scooping this one up, and hopefully I can get at least somewhere between like 160 and 180 for this one, because this was a crazy find. Next I came across this wireless router, and as you guys know, I sell a ton of these, and even though this one was brand new and sealed, this particular router just doesn't really have a high demand, and the comps on this one was pretty weak. They were selling for around like 15 to as high as 20 bucks, so even though it was brand new, I still passed on that. Now this one is definitely I didn't pick this one up, but this is something you guys should be on the lookout for, especially if you can find it brand new in the original packaging. I sold a brand new one of these for like $75 a few months ago, and when they're used and they don't have the receiver, they don't sell for that much money. But if you guys can find one of those brand new, definitely pick it up. So this one was crazy. So I saw this Bose console, had no clue what this was, but anything Bose, I usually just always grab it up. So they were asking 25 bucks for this one, and I was trying to figure out like how I could just turn this on, because it didn't have the usual like power supply on the back. So I just walked around the store and ended up coming across, I guess this is the person that donated this. They had kind of like a Frankenstein kind of thing going on, where they had a Philips speaker or a Philips subwoofer, but it had the Bose connectivity to it. So I ended up plugging it in so I could test it, and it turned on and it worked fine. So I'm definitely going to be grabbing this one up for 25 bucks. But as you guys can see, this, I had to take the pictures of it working in the store just so that I can list it on eBay properly. But I'm definitely going to have to try to find the actual cord for this. But just keep watching the video, because it only gets better after this, because this was crazy. So went to a different Goodwill and came across this Buffalo Sabres jersey, and my wife is actually from Buffalo, so I know she would have got excited if she seen this one. But as you guys can see, this one was in really rough shape. Didn't even have the lacing that usually is in the collar of these jerseys, but overall really rough condition, and they were asking like 12 bucks. So I ended up passing on this jersey, but if it was in better condition, I definitely would have grabbed that one up. So I told you guys this was going to be crazy. I actually found the cord for the Bose in a different Goodwill, and the cords in this Goodwill is usually only $1, and the comps for these cords are selling for like 50 to 60 bucks. So this was just a crazy find. So still checking some stuff in this Goodwill, and I thought I came across a Harley Davidson leather jacket. And if you guys know anything about these jackets, they usually do sell for a ton of profit, but this wasn't an original Harley jacket at all. This was just something somebody kind of customized and pieced together for themselves. else, just threw some Harley patches on there. That's probably why Goodwill charged so much. They probably thought it was the original Harley jacket, but I just wanted to look up a little closer to it, and you could see somebody just stitched the patches on the back of this one. So if it was an original Harley, I would have probably sold that for maybe $200 or maybe even close to $300 for some of those jackets. But this one right here, probably, if I'm lucky, I would probably got $60 for this jacket. So absolutely had to pass on that one. But overall, still a good custom piece, in my opinion. So came across a pair of shoes. These were brand new, but Goodwill was absolutely tripping when it came to the prices for this one. They were asking $90, and I don't know anybody that's going to spend $90 on those, but I mean, Goodwill could try it if they want. So came across this pair of Noble. These are workout shoes. These were really good for just training and like doing kind of like squats and stuff like that. Kind of like Metcons. Really good brand to be on the lookout for, but they were just a little too pricey in this Goodwill. This was definitely a first time find for me, so if anybody can share any info on anything related to some of these compound bows, I definitely would appreciate it. This one was actually called the Tour Cat, and as you guys can see, it was definitely missing the strings and all those other pieces for it, but just kind of pricing this conservatively after checking some of the comps, I think I could get anywhere between $80 to $100 just for the parts that I have here. But like I said, this is the first time that I found any of these type of compound bows. But after checking some of the other comps, these were selling for as high as like $300 and $400 when it had everything that you needed for it. So I'm definitely gonna price mine kind of conservatively and hope that it sells pretty quickly. So here was also a pretty good find. I was actually testing this one out, but as you guys can see, it couldn't close. So I'm not too tech savvy when it comes to these types of stuff. I tried kind of releasing the module to see if I could actually get it closed, but I ended up passing on it anyway. But some of these memory cards and these controllers for the original PlayStation, just the parts by itself sell for some decent profit, but I didn't want to like separate the bundle. So pretty sure somebody else probably took advantage of this and was able to scoop this up for a good deal. But since this wasn't closing, I ended up just passing on it. So lately, Goodwill has really been tripping with some of these prices. Those Kobe's, they were asking about $60 for those. Those been here for a few days now. These Bont Ranger cycling shoes were just way overpriced. They were asking $40 for those too. And this pair of Vapor Max, these were really cooked. At first I was hyped because they were in my size, but as you guys can see, these were really beat up. So ended up passing on all of those, but I don't know what it is. Sometimes Goodwill prices, you can catch them slipping and they'll price stuff kind of cheap, and then other days they just go crazy. I think it just depends on who's pricing that day. But here was a pair of A Solo boots. A Solo is a really good brand to be on the lookout for. I ended up passing on those just because of the price and the condition, but definitely be on the lookout for A Solo. They usually do sell for some good profit. Now here we are in a different thrift, and I came across this pair of Magnani sneakers, and I'm more familiar with this brand when it comes to their dress shoes, but this pair of sneakers definitely grabbed my attention since they were so clean. The only downside to it was that the laces were really torn up, and of course I could have swapped out the laces or even like bought some replacements, but I just really wasn't. Sometimes I buy replacement stuff and sometimes I just pass on it. So for this one, I ended up passing on it. I'm sure somebody else would really enjoy those. But came across this Bass Angler game. These are one of those retro ones that you just plug up to the TV. I tested this one in the store and it worked just fine, so definitely going to be grabbing that one up. They usually sell for about $25 to $30. And came across a Bose remote that I'm pretty sure goes with the console that I grabbed up earlier in the week. So their remotes are usually around $150, and checking the comps on this particular remote, they were selling for about $25 to $30. So I'm definitely going to be grabbing that one up. So I pulled up to this thrift store kind of late. I usually try to get here first thing in the morning, but the only thing I was able to come across was this used Wii Sports. Wii Sports sells for $25 now, so their games in this store is only $1, so I'm definitely going to be grabbing this one up.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Move just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit.